Alright everyone, welcome back. In today's video we're going to be making the Hannah top, which is a one-shoulder bikini top. Again, I'm going to be switching up some of the sewing methods that I use, so there are going to be some new concepts in this tutorial. For my materials today, I'm using two different elastics. I'm using 3/8 inch and 1 inch elastic. I didn't have 1 inch rubber elastic on hand, so I'm using braided, but as usual, I do recommend that you use rubber elastic. I'm also using this amazing ribbed fabric that is now stocked for pre-order on my shop, so see the link in the description to get that. The quality is phenomenal. It's 260 GSM, which most of the swimwear that you find around is like between 160 and 180 GSM. That should give you a gauge of just how luxurious it is. The quality of the fabric definitely is at a higher level. I'd say major brands are selling swimwear with this type of fabric for like $100 plus per piece. So like $100 for a top or $100 for a bottom. So definitely don't miss out on this. It's amazing and I cannot stop using it. I didn't end up doing adjustable straps in this tutorial, but I do highly recommend making the strap this way since it is a little more versatile, especially if you have a swimwear brand. These are the pieces that you'll need for adjustable straps, but again, I won't be using them. However, I am filming a video on adjustable straps this weekend, so if you don't know how to make them, you soon will. And as usual, there is a pattern on my website. It's called the Hannah top, so see the link in the description or simply search Hannah on my website. Alright, so first step is our usual first step. We're going to be cutting our pieces, and I'm going to start with my lining fabric. So I'm cutting one of the front piece and one of the back piece, making sure to leave a 1/4 inch of seam allowance. And remember to leave the allowance since I do not include that in my patterns. Now I'm going to cut the same pieces in my ribbed fabric. Next, I need to cut the straps. I'm making my size medium band 2 inches by about 1 inch smaller than the front and the back of the pattern, which for me was about 26 inches. So 2 inches wide by 26 inches long for my size medium. I also cut my one strap, which I made 1.5 inches by 15 inches, but I did end up going back and trimming it down to about 11 inches. If you want more specific sizing recommendations for the straps, there is a size chart in the written directions, which I'll make sure to link in the description. The next step is going to be matching up our lining with lining and ribbed with ribbed. We want to sew the sides right sides together, so line them up this way. Make sure your front lining piece is flipped opposite so that the strap is facing the opposite side as the strap is facing on the fabric. You'll need to do this so that when you flip the lining back to the right side and match it up inside of the ribbed, it will line up correctly. I do recommend pinning and just testing it out before sewing because I made the mistake and I had to go back and seam rip. Anyways, insert the lining inside of the ribbed right sides together and then pin all along the top line. We'll then sew all along that top line, leaving the strap opening unsewn. We're also going to leave a small portion open in the back so we can insert our strap. The opening should be on the opposite side of the strap opening on the front. Leaving the opening in this step is definitely optional because you can certainly go back and seam rip a hole later. Before we attach the elastic, we're going to begin our strap. Fold the strap in half with right sides together and sew along the open edge. Then go back and add the 3/8 of an inch elastic right on top. Take the strap to the right side. Now that you've completed your strap, you're going to insert it inside of the top and wiggle it in so it's right inside of the strap opening. Pin it down and then sew just right across. To attach the strap to the back part, you're next going to find the opening in the back that we left and insert the strap inside. If you forgot to leave the opening or chose not to do it, then now is the time to seam rip a small hole. The hole should be about 1/2 inch. From the inside out, secure the strap down, and we're going to sew right across. And now we're going to go back and add our elastic. I'm going to start at that back opening area and apply elastic all along the top line where we just sewed. In war, there's never an option to run. Oh, Geronimo, tears keep on falling, the nighttime is ours. When you get close to the strap opening on the front, you're going to cut your elastic so it's tapered and doesn't get too bulky near the strap. This is definitely optional, but it does leave a nice clean finish. Now we're going to begin working with our band. Off camera, I took our band piece, folded it in half hamburger style, if you will, and sewed it right sides together so that it became circular. And I'm going to pin the band at the seam and at its halfway point on either side of the top, right sides together. Then go back and put in a few more pins, but try not to put too many pins in because we are going to be slightly stretching as we sew. As you sew the band on, remember that we're sewing through 3 layers of fabric, so take your time and be careful with this. Once you finish that, we're going to go right back on top and add our elastic band. Off camera, I cut my elastic. I made mine 25 inches, which is an inch less than the band. So once your elastic is ready, what we're going to do is we're going to go right back on top where we just applied the band and apply our elastic. Again, you're going to want to pin at the seam as well as at the halfway point, and then sew the band into place, stretching very slightly as you sew.
Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright, 'cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong, 'cause it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine.
Next, flip over the band piece so it covers the elastic. Pin all along the band and be really generous with pins to make sure the fabric doesn't get bunched up or uneven. Now, sewing this last step can be very difficult and it might take a lot of practice, but it's definitely worth it because it gives a nice finish.
I think about you and I want you here with me. Am I out of my mind, or is this how it should be? You made me sing about love.
So to sew this band down, I'm going to be using a cover stitch, but if your machine can't do a cover stitch, then simply use a zigzag stitch. It's really important that you use some stretchy thread, like woolly nylon, during this step, since the band easily can snap since it's going to be stretched when it's being taken on and off. And this is what a cover stitch looks like. And in the video, I made my band too wide by about 1/4 inch, so I had to go back and trim, which isn't ideal, but if I did 2 inches like I mentioned in the beginning, it would have a nicer finish.
A little crazy for you now.
And here is the final result. Overall, I'm really happy with this top. It fits exceptionally well, and it would be really cute paired with some high-waist bottoms. I also like the sewing technique since the band makes the top a lot more secure. The only thing I'd change is making an adjustable strap. I just didn't have the right size of strap adjusters this time. Another thing you could do is modify it so it's like tied by a ribbon or something cute like that. But I encourage you to be creative. And that's about it for me, folks, so I will see you in the next video. Watch out for that adjustable strap tutorial, and I have a couple other exciting ones planned, so stay tuned.